We say goodbye to Amia and Tommaso, and we say hello to the King Walker. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We are back here to review The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 5, the penultimate episode of the first season. This one called Stories We Tell Ourselves. And I thought this was just another step really for the direction of this show. Really pretty much went nowhere. It didn't have me thinking, wow, this show sucks, but it certainly had me thinking, this show certainly ain't great. It was just like, I don't know what I felt like.
This episode just sucked, didn't it? Nothing happened, man. We've got Tommaso with a heel turn that Maggie's just calling him out on. I mean, realistically, could have fell flat on her face for this, couldn't
Yeah, I got myself pumped up for this intro, but then by the time it came to talk about the show, I realised, you know what, there's nothing to happen.
I mean, we kick off, right? We've got Ginny with Maggie, Amia and Tommaso. They're like, who the hell's the kid? And she, it's Ginny. Like, they're supposed to know who Ginny is, right? Then you've got, where's Negan? And they're like, we don't know where Negan is. He must be doing something else. But the corpses down in the sewers are fresh, and it must be the methane bank that the Croats created, man. But I don't understand this. This Ginny person doesn't speak. She doesn't know these three people.
What does she offer to the show?
Absolutely nothing, man. And know what the worst thing about it is? You don't know these three people. See, in order to survive, you need to speak. See, in this
communication.
World, see, in this world, I see if one of these three just turned around and shot her and went, she's just going to slow us down.
I dead on that bit of a heel turn. And how many dead bodies were in the sewers? And what do you mean they're all fresh? So what, the Croat is literally what? Banking dead bodies down
Yeah, I'm going off the Wikipedia, mate, alright? That's what they said. That's what they said, damn it. That's what I do.
Alright, so they begin moving through the sewers. We see one of the bodies moving, but they don't really realise this. They get their lights out. Tommaso's got a light. Amia's got a light. Maggie's not got a light, but don't worry. Tommaso has an extra. He has a spare. Amia goes to get out his bag, but for some reason he's like, oh no, wait, I'll do it.
It's just my bag. No one touch my bag.
I wonder why he said that. I wonder why we said that. So they move on down the sewers. We then see Negan and Pearly White.
Percy.
Pearly White is still got Negan at gunpoint, although he's not really using a gun. He's using that mad sort of drill thing.
Line.
Negan thinks he's been a bit unfair. He's like, I saved your life and we're really going to do this shit.
I was a gym teacher, man. What were you? I was a guy down at the docks, player.
They both worked for the state, so maybe they've got something in common. Pearly is adamant that he is going to escape this island alongside Negan, with Negan. Negan's like, the boats are taken. Pearly's like, I don't need a boat. Apparently he knows there's these like raft things at the docks.
We're like 20 years in, man. These might not exist anymore.
Yeah, how does he...
Him banking on this is a pretty poor thing to...
And if people would steal the fucking boats, wouldn't they steal these raft thingies as well? I don't understand. Where's the guarantee they're going to be there? I didn't understand that, but he's convinced that they are.
What I didn't understand more is, why is Negan not trying to escape? This guy has got an injured leg. He's hobbling along, and they're in like close quarter combat situations where Negan could just batter him.
Yeah, I mean, Negan has multiple chances here to like try and push this weapon out of his hand or make a run for it. Even when there's like spots where they can't fit through something at the same time, Negan goes first. That would be a great chance to just like attack Pearly when he's coming through the fence after Negan goes through, but he doesn't do that. The walkers are surrounding them and they manage to like break into this, I don't know, like building. They try to make you believe that Negan and Pearly were going to die here, but I don't think anyone really believed that.
Maybe Pearly could have died, but Negan's not going to die.
Negan's not going to die. And you know what, Pearly, we're going to make a separate vid on this, but Negan brings up the fact that he killed one of his own, and Pearly doesn't even acknowledge that. It's like, he did. Pearly shot his little, trainee guy, his trooper, and he's not even showed any sort of remorse for that, and I get it was an accident. He was aiming for Negan, but still, it's like, why was he... It doesn't make logical sense why in episode 1 he would try and shoot to kill Negan, but now he's like, oh no, I can't kill you, I need to get you back out of this city. Like, why has he changed his mind all of a sudden? But in episode 1 he was shooting to kill. What sense does that make, guys? Not a lot of sense to me.
Just to keep Negan alive and having this guy team up.
Back in the sewers, we have the group, the four walking down. They need to... they can't breathe the air for some reason, alright?
The methane's in the air.
The methane's in the air. They need oxygen. Tommaso finds an oxygen tank. He finds two, to be exact. Amiya's like, the kid can have one and we'll share the other one. It's like, shouldn't you share it? And the kid's fucking smaller, it probably needs less. Shouldn't it be share 1 by 2?
No, I just don't understand.
What
they don't know this kid. And see everyone goes,
It's a kid, man.
Yeah, exactly. They don't really know Maggie either, do they? So, I mean, let's just not go down that crap. Or they shouldn't even give the kid any.
No, they should give the kid a quarter, not a third, a full.
Well, that's what I say.
Or no, it would be a half.
Shouldn't it just be one tank between two people?
Yeah, like the husband and wife.
Here, Maggie, you know this kid, so you and her share a tank, and we'll share the other one. But Maggie doesn't want the tank for some reason. Then they're wondering, how did the Croat know we're here? How did he plan this? How did he know we were coming? Someone brings up the fact that it might have been Luther. Amiya's like, nah, Luther wouldn't have done that. It wouldn't be him. And then Maggie accuses Tommaso, saying, you knew exactly how to get here. You tell your bullshit story about how you managed to escape. Tommaso's like, it wasn't a bullshit story, it's true. Then she says, you even knew where to find those tanks. And it turns out he had the tanks all along in his backpack. And Tommaso is the guy that basically told the Croats, or the Croat, well, they were coming.
They were coming. Nobody stopped me. I feel like from Maggie's point of view, this could have went disastrously wrong. Calling him out. Because realistically, all you've got in your corner is a kid that doesn't speak, and you don't even know who's on your side at this point. There was a wee bit of evidence, but for Maggie to fully go full blown at this, man, I don't know. We get Negan and Pearlie.
Well, Tommaso tells Amiya's upset. Tommaso tells her, look, them taking back this city. It was a fantasy. It was never going to happen. He did this to keep them safe. He insists that his betrayal was the only way that they could survive, and that he did this for her. But she doesn't want to hear it, and she storms off. And
I don't want to hear it anymore.
And that's it. He looks at Maggie somewhat regretfully, and then that's it. We then go to...
I understand his point of doing it, right? But he's just got all these people killed. Like, we're talking like 30 people. We're not talking 3 or 4.
Yeah, we then see Negan and Pearlie. They come across body parts, like doll parts, look like a scene out of Dexter. I guess come to the conclusion that an artist did this. Then Negan grabs a walker, throws it in Pearlie's direction, tries to escape, gets down to the basement. There's like the door or whatever is barricaded. It says don't open, dead outside. I guess that was a nice wee twist to the dead inside. Ho ho! Pearlie though shoots his gun into the door frame and the barricade, pulls it, and it just opens up the passage for Negan to escape. Pearlie falls down. Negan looks at him and he's like, fuck, I'm not the guy you think I am. He's like, you know what, I can't just leave you here to die, but if I help you, then you've got to drop this shit. And I think that's a pretty fair deal. I mean, if Negan helps save Pearlie here and gets him to safety, then maybe Pearlie can let this whole thing go.
It is a fair deal, but he did it in the last episode and the guy was pretty bent on keeping him.
Yeah, so I mean, this is Negan saved him twice now. Will Pearlie's situation change? I guess we will find out. We then have Tommaso and the group. They're walking down the sewers, and all of a sudden we get the walkers come alive. The walkers are moving. The walkers aren't dead. They're not exactly walking, but they're crawling. They're crawling all over the floor. Tommaso looks like he's getting bit, but he manages to fight his way off. Amiya gets like tackled or dragged to the ground, and you see about 3 or 4 walkers dive on top of her. It looks like she's getting bit. Maggie is fighting herself off because, let's be honest, she's the main character, not going to die. And you've got Ginny, who is a kid, but for some reason escapes unscathed. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We see that Tommaso is trying to fight his way off the walkers to get to Amiya, but Maggie's like, no. And why is she saying no? Because Amiya's dead. You just see her laying there, all of her stomach ripped open, guts hanging out. Then we look at Tommaso, he's bleeding from the neck.
Is she okay?
He's asking if she's okay. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean this. I was just trying to help her. I didn't want any of this. And then Tommaso just dies, like, instantly. And it's like, what the hell? It felt like there was more to tell here. I felt like Tommaso had something to explain, a bigger story. I feel like he could have at least helped the group. Maybe he could have been heroic. Maybe he could have had one final stand to help Maggie and Ginny escape, but he's literally just there going, I didn't mean for this to happen. I wanted to help. I did it for her. Oh.
Yeah,
dead.
so him and his wife just end on bad terms. They don't ever get to make up. Don't even get to have a conversation. It's just...
I don't know. I literally don't know how he died, but he kind of looked a wee bit like Shane when he was laying there dead. I thought
He got bit in the throat. He bled out for the jugular.
didn't look like it looked like the side of his neck.
Well, it says, according to the wiki, he bled out for his jugular vein.
Well, that's it. They're both dead. For some reason, Maggie didn't take the other oxygen tank though. They just walked on. Guinea then tries to run out. She goes ahead. Maggie's like, come back here. And then we see this big ass fucking walker. So Maggie is stepping through a walker. Her foot goes through its chest and she gets stuck. Maggie gets stuck. And I don't get it because we've seen how easy you can kill these walkers. We've seen how easy you can rip their arms off and just tear them apart, and how they just get, like, if they get stuck on something, you see how easy like their limbs rip off. Yet Maggie, I mean, the body is like, it's like, what do you call, name me a word. What am I thinking of?
Flimsy?
No, fuck me.
Weak?
It's like, the body's like soft enough for Maggie's foot to go through its chest, but then she can't pull it back out. I mean, what sense does that make?
No, it doesn't make any sense,
It didn't
man.
make any sense to me. So the body is decomposed enough that Maggie's foot went through the walker, went through its chest area, but then she couldn't get her foot out. Then all of a sudden we see the King Walker, and it turns out a King Walker is a bunch of walkers stuck together. It's like 3 or 4 walkers stuck, and I mean, it kind of looks like a spider a little bit. Maggie's stuck, the King Walker comes over, it's got all these limbs, all these different heads. Then we see a head burst out from the body of it, and it kind of reminded me of Alien. When you've got the what do you call the
Xenomorph?
Xenomorph, and it bursts out of, you know, when it comes like out of the big alien's mouth or whatever, like the mini tongue or whatever.
I like this, but see, at the same time, Maggie, it falls on her, and the weight of this, I just think it's ridiculous to think that she could like hold this off and stab each head at once.
This big thing with like 4 heads or like multiple limbs, so many fucking different limbs, and could Maggie kill this? Could Maggie really survive this? I don't think so. The size of this thing, it's got all of these different hands and to scratch Maggie with. It's got all these different heads to bite Maggie with, but somehow Maggie manages to hold it off without getting bit, and then she stabs it in the head one by one, stabbing all 4 heads. And you know what? It was a cool spectacle. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but like, shouldn't they have kept Tommaso alive for this? And this King Walker could have took him out. It's like, you show this King Walker, and Maggie just kills it.
It falls on her, she kills it easily.
It's like, shouldn't this have, if this King Walker took out Tommaso, wouldn't you be thinking, oh fuck, look at that, this thing's deadly?
It would have been better though if he like speared it off, like say when Surge get the balconies and it goes down a level. Do something like that.
I think something could have been done, like, see, for Maggie to be struggling, but then just to take this out, it made you think, oh well, that looked cool, but at the end of the day, Maggie just killed it like any other walker. But they wanted you to think, oh, look at this is like special infected.
It's similar.
This is like a boss battle.
It's similar to like Resident Evil, where they bring in like, you know, Executioner or Nemesis, but it was never defeated like this.
No.
So,
Speaking of Resident Evil, it was weird. Maggie was kind of weird. She was like kind of sporting the Jill Valentine outfit, but she looks like Mila Jovovich.
Cross of 2 worlds, man.
This did give me very Resident Evil vibes.
Aye, and the fact
Dead City hasn't. Anytime I see Maggie walking about the city, it does to remind me of Resident Evil.
Umbrella.
Resident Evil 2.
Talking of Umbrella though, Negan and Purcell get into the school bus and they're talking here.
Hey man, I'm from the Bronx.
Can I just fill our conversation here about Purcell talking about his brother and how his brother kind of like left him for like a job, and he's like, here, if it was 20 years ago, Negan, I would have wanted this guy to die in the zombie apocalypse, but now, well, I don't know, maybe not. It's his brother, and here he is, like, I'm not actually decided if I wanted him to die or not, but...
Yeah, telling some story about how his brother got involved in drugs and then basically fell out with the family. Just didn't do much for me.
Yeah, it just seems a wee bit extreme, and Negan's sitting there like, I'm stuck in the wrong school bus with the wrong motherfucker. We cut to the crew at worst part of the episode. He pulls up. I'm thinking this must be when he arrived in New York.
Yeah, I thought it was a flashback.
Turns out it's not, because he was covering his ear, and he looked at his ear, so it seemed like here his ear's just been freshly shot off. But he goes into this building, looks like a play, a cinema. He then goes through the back, and then a big black woman bursts out. Is like,
What you looking at, bitch?
pushes him at the road, and it's like, hold on, this guy has been built up for the past 5 episodes as the king of New York City.
Yeah, then he goes into the room and it's some like older woman and she basically orders him around, questioning him, tells him to sit down. And it's like you're led to believe that the Croat is the main antagonist of this show, that he runs New York City. He is the bad man, the badass. But of course, it's just The Walking Dead looking very woke, where you're getting a guy that is basically under orders from women again. That's pretty much what it is.
No, it's ridiculous, man. It sucks. Like, I'm not saying like someone can't be revealed to be working under somebody, but is it any surprise? I mean, it's not even just the main woman. It's like this woman we don't even know and doesn't even seem to be of any importance. Says to him, "Get my way, you little bitch."
You can imagine if the governor was secretly we found out like in late season 3 that the governor's working for some woman. He's not really the one in charge, or Negan's working under a woman and he's not really the one in charge. It's not very realistic, guys, is it?
Sucks. Jenny makes it out of the sewers, fires a flare gun. Negan sees this. Maggie's having flashbacks. Turns out the Croat gave her a wanted poster when he kidnapped Herschel. He wants Negan.
So this makes you believe, and I actually thought this before we've seen it, but it makes you believe, is this like a setup for Maggie all along? Is she just using Negan? Does she plan on betraying Negan and basically doing a swap, Negan for Herschel? That might be what is happening here. I'm going to assume that is what it is. And who knows, maybe by the time she gets in a position to make that swap, she might, I don't know, have second thoughts. But we've already seen the Croat and Negan interact. It makes you... It makes you feel like the Croat wants revenge on Negan, but he had an opportunity to take it and didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Negan was helping Percy up over a balcony for about 20 seconds and he just stood there.
Yeah, and
surely if he just wanted him dead, he'd have killed him.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like if that's truly the case and he just wants revenge, I feel like they could have handled that scene better.
So it almost sounds like they want to work with Negan, because even he was telling that woman that, Negan's here, and it's like, why did they care so much about Negan?
Yeah, like, why did he tell her about Negan if he thought there was going to be a problem? He thought him saying that, be like, yeah, we can use Negan, sort of deal.
So maybe they want to recruit Negan, I'm not too sure. That was the episode, guys. Wasn't great. Didn't really do much for me. I mean, the King Walker was kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I thought the head busted out. That did remind me of the Alien, so I thought that was pretty cool wee spin. I mean, the dialogue between Negan and Pearlie wasn't horrible. I didn't really care much for the reveal of Tommaso being this guy that is like betrayed his group. I did feel a bit bad for him though when he died. It was... I'll give it a...
I'll give
it
a 3.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
3.5 out of 10,
3
baby.
out of 10. I feel like...
Not that good, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Anyway, guys, that's us done. Only one more episode go till the season finale, and the season's not that good, isn't it?
No, at the moment, out of 10, what would you say the season's sitting at? I'd probably say a 4, 3.
Averages it at probably about a 4. I'd say that's about right. 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
But till the season finale, guys. Peace.